Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Faceless Man.
Welcome all, I am the Faceless Man, a storyteller, and have I got a story for you. So settle down and let our story begin.
Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, and Dragon Ball Super, all owned by Funimation, Toei Animation, Shueisha, and Akira Toriyama. This is my own personal take on the Dragon Ball story.
What's up YouTube, my name is Zane from Reproductions Extra, and today's What If is a different What If. This is going to be a single part What If. I want to do this more on my channel, where I'm just going to go through an entire story in one video. I hope you guys enjoy this, and please tell me what you think down below. And let's jump right in. So we start in that of the Buu saga, when Vegito is fighting Super Buu and gets absorbed, but this time he doesn't split, due to the bad air we thought inside of Buu, when it's actually the time limit for mortals. As he gets inside of Buu and frees his friends, with them exiting, since Buu isn't released, Kid Buu isn't created. So when he exits, he powers up to full and vaporizes Buu. Afterwards, when he learns that the Potara fusion is permanent, they speak to both Bulma and Chi-Chi, and they decide that Vegito should live with Bulma since Chi-Chi can't see her Goku in this new form. Buu is revived due to Hercules pleading with Vegito, and eventually Vegito just gives in, and they wish upon the dragon for Buu to be revived. 4 years later, Beerus wakes up and has his Super Saiyan God prophecy about his greatest rival. At the same time, Vegito is at Bulma's birthday party hanging out with Gohan, Goten and Videl, with the Goku personality being a lot more dominant, since he doesn't really get to spend all that much time with his kids. When Beerus shows up, the Vegeta side is scared but formal, everything up until Beerus slaps Bulma and Vegito loses it, shouting,
"That's my Bulma!"
With the rage boost, he forces Beerus to 10% of his power. After the ass whooping from Beerus, Beerus demands Super Saiyan God or he will blow up the earth. When Gohan has an idea to ask Shenron, and Shenron tells him about the Super Saiyan God ritual, but Whis points out there is only 4 Saiyans, not 6. This is when Vegito points out that he's a Potara fusion of Kakarot and Vegeta, so wouldn't they class as 2? That's when Beerus actually notices the Potaras and asks them why they didn't defuse the powers of the Dragon Ball, and they said they tried but it was out of Shenron's power. Videl reveals that she is pregnant, and they perform the Super Saiyan God ritual. The fight is very similar to Goku vs Beerus, but a lot more technical than the way Vegito fights. Beerus pushed to 90% of his power, but still wins. After the fight and Beerus leaves, Vegito goes to Gohan and asks him to train with him since he's the second strongest person on Earth, or was the second strongest person on Earth. And after seeing the power of Beerus, Gohan kind of gets the idea in his head that he should go back to training. Piccolo, overhearing this, wants to fight and train as well, and they agree, and they go off to training. By the time Whis comes back to Earth, Piccolo and Vegito have beaten the cockiness out of Gohan when he is fighting, with Whis then agreeing to train all 3 of them, since it would be a good idea to train in a Mechian, to the fact he's never actually trained one. Over the next year, the 3 train hard, with Gohan eventually having to go back to Earth when Pan is born. Vegito unlocks Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, or Super Saiyan Blue, whichever way you prefer. Gohan doesn't unlock Super Saiyan Blue or Super Saiyan God, instead he just masters his ultimate form even more to get stronger, as Piccolo also picks up on God Ki and basically becomes the strongest Namekian that has ever lived, and is now able to charge a full power special beam cannon in 2 seconds. When Frieza is revived and comes back to Earth, he isn't ready for what he finds, which is a full-powered Gohan, which just obliterates him, knocks him about, and doesn't even spare his life, just kills him off the bat. When Vegito hears about this, he's a bit disappointed that he didn't get to fight Frieza, but he's proud of his son. The next event is that of the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 ton. Everything leading up to the event is pretty much the same, but the fighters for Universe 7 are that of Vegito, Gohan, Piccolo and Buu, with Vegito kind of classing as 2 people. Vegito, Gohan and Piccolo enter the time chamber for 3 days, since when I say Piccolo, we'll probably be able to do the fact he doesn't really eat. When they get to the nameless planet, the test still goes the same. Gohan gets a perfect score, and Boo falls asleep. The first fight in the tournament is Gohan versus Batamo, which is pretty much the same as Goku versus Batamo, to be honest. The next fight is Gohan versus Frost, which is definitely different from Goku versus Frost, but instead of Goku's trusting nature, it's a lot more Gohan's calculating nature. Knowing that Frost has transformations is probably like Frieza, Gohan tells him to power up to his final form. As Frost powers up to his third form, telling Gohan that it is his final form. Gohan then punches him in the stomach, winding him, knocking him back a bit, and then tells him to transform into his final form, not his third form. As Frost finally goes into his final form and gives him the speech about how he killed somebody in this form, the fight starts with Gohan in base form. As the fight progresses, Vegito's watching closely. It looks like Frost's trying to stab something into Gohan, but Gohan just dodging all of his attacks. As he's certain he sees something in one of his arms, he fires a ki blast in front of them and stops the fight, telling the ref to check Frost's arms, and when the ref does, he finds 2 needles, and Frost is disqualified for cheating. Gohan tells the ref that he wants to continue the fight so he can show them the true difference in their power. As Gohan transforms to Super Saiyan 2, smacks Frost around the arena for a bit and then knocks him out. Frost still tries to take the chariot and Hit stops him. The following fight is Mineta versus Gohan. This is pretty much the same as it was with Vegeta, except Gohan isn't knocked out of the arena since he's way stronger than what Vegeta was in canon, with him training with Vegito and Whis. During the fight, Goten and Trunks shout, take out that rust bucket, which throws Mineta off his game, and Gohan knocks him out of the arena. The following match is Kaba versus Gohan, and this fight is definitely different from Kaba versus Vegeta. Kaba asks Gohan to teach him that form he saw, that's Super Saiyan, and Gohan tells him, yes, you can if you can block this next attack. As Gohan transforms into Super Saiyan and charges up a Kamea at him and fires it, with Kaba firing a beam black, blocking the blast, and this is when Gohan starts to teach him how to turn Super Saiyan, similar to how Goku did with him back in the day. But he lets more of his inner Vegeta come out, should I say, and he tells Kaba about what the Saiyans were like in Universe 7, how they destroyed planets, how they wiped out them and sold them to the highest bidder. He then tells him once the tournament's over, he's going to go to Planet Sadala and destroy it, starting with Kaba's family, killing them nice and slow, as he starts to power up the blast more, try and keep him on his guard. He then tells him he's going to go after his friends, then all of his people, then from one planet to another, wiping them out of existence. Kaba, hearing this, getting more and more angry, realizing that these Saiyans aren't the Saiyans he knows. These are chaotic beings that only want to destroy. Kaba, with the glow of the Super Saiyan, deflects the blast and erupts in power, charging towards Gohan, attempting to knock him out. Gohan then just blocking each attack, eventually grabbing one of his foot, another one of his arms, and he tells Kaba not to let the power of Super Saiyan cloud his judgment, as Kaba realizes that he has entered the power of Super Saiyan. As Kaba powers down, Gohan powers up, showing him Super Saiyan 2, then Ultimate, telling him if he trains hard enough he could even unlock this form, as he knocks Kaba out of the ring. The next fight is Gohan versus Hit, which is basically the same as Hit versus Gohan, except Gohan is in his Ultimate form to start with. Since he doesn't have Blue, he does get 1 or 2 hits in on Hit, but ultimately is knocked out. The next fight is Piccolo versus Hit, and again Piccolo just doesn't stand a chance, with Vegito during this fight actually figures out Hit's timeskip, with him having the brain of Goku and Vegeta. The next fight is Vegito versus Hit, and it's similar to Goku versus Hit. For when the fight starts, he already knows what timeskip can do, and it goes along. It's not the same with him getting on the back foot and him equivalent to a full solid second. Vegito powers up to his secret weapon and shouts Kaioken. At this point, Hit doesn't stand a chance. Even in base Kaioken Blue, he just knocks him out of the ring. Vegito is declared the winner. When this happens, the Potara earrings shatter. Vegito falls to the floor, ki flying everywhere, streaking across the arena. As Whis thinks he knows what's going on, flies down, spins his staff and hits Vegito. As the ki stops, Vegito just lies there. Whis tells everyone that the two souls in the body were fighting for dominance, and so he combined them. And now this is truly Vegito, no longer Kakarot or Vegeta. As Vegito stands up and begins to speak, normally without the combined voice of Goku and Vegeta. They've all kind of got used to, which kind of freaks people out, as the first thing he properly says is, I guess I'm no longer Kakarot or Vegeta, I'm just Vegito. After this, Champa does call out Beerus for cheating for using Potara fusions, and why didn't he think of that? But Beerus just ignores him. The whole thing with Zeno happens with Goku's personality being the dominant one, since they're still the two personalities to just now one person. And Zeno agrees that there'll be another tournament. The future Trunks saga starts the same, with Trunks going back in time to get help, but he is surprised when he sees Vegito there and attacks him, but is stopped quickly by Gohan, who talks him down and explains that Vegito is a fusion of Goku and Vegeta. After the confusion is settled, Trunks apologizes to Vegito, and Vegito offers to spar with Trunks, just to get a same on his power. The fight starts the same, with similar to Goku versus Trunks, except Vegito only actually needs to fight in base Super Saiyan, not pushing anywhere after that, because he is just that strong. When Vegito Black shows up, Vegito goes blue and beats the ever-loving poop out of him. Just before he's about to finish him off, Black is getting pulled back into the future, as Vegito cuts off his arm with a keyblade, the one that the time ring is on. Vegito, seeing this time ring on the floor, takes it off the hand, puts it on, and is then pulled into the future. As Vegito appears in Trunks' timeline, he sees Black on the floor, and he smiles as he starts to charge up a final Kamehameha, killing Black. After the dust is settled, he spots a man floating in the air who shouts down, Black, what's happening with Trunks? As Vegito flies towards him and asks, who are you? This is when he realizes that something is wrong. This isn't Black. As he turns to run, Vegito hits him to the ground. As he starts to watch Zamasu heal, he flies towards him and puts a keyblade straight through his heart. Zamasu laughing and telling him that you can't kill an immortal, as Vegito starts to laugh. Now I'm going to pull something here from the Dragon Ball Super manga, as Vegito puts out his hand and says, Hakai, as Zamasu starts to scream, not knowing how this mortal has the power of destruction, shouts, no, I, Zamasu, killed by a mortal, as he ceases to exist. With him being pinned to the floor by this keyblade, the planet itself starts to decay as well and be destroyed. As Vegito panics and says Hakai again, trying to wonder if that will stop it, it kind of accelerates the process. As this is happening, Beerus tells Whis to go and retrieve Vegito from the future. When he gets there, he sees the planet being destroyed by the power of destruction. Whis laughs to himself as Vegito flies towards him with someone he's picked up from a building that was getting destroyed. Mai. As Whis tells him that they're going back to the past. As he grabs onto him and is teleported back to the past. When Trunks sees Mai, he rushes towards seeing that she's alive, and he's overexcited. Vegito tells the group that he met a man called Zamasu there, and Whis then butts in, telling him that Zamasu was a Kai from the 10th universe, and he had the power of destruction, which he was able to destroy future Trunks' timeline, lying for Vegito. Trunks, hearing this, he's a bit sad, he doesn't know what to do, when Vegito just tells him just to stay here with them. And after Bulma and Gohan talk to him, he agrees and does. Beerus, Whis and Vegito go to the 10th to deal with Zamasu. There, Gosu asks them why Lord Beerus and Whis have brought along a mortal with them, with Whis telling Gosu that Vegito is a God of Destruction candidate, and they are actually here on official business. As he shows Gosu the time ring, and tells him that he believes this is one from his universe. A man from the future came back and attacked them. As Gosu looks at the ring, saying, wondering, but this is one of his. As he goes to check his other rings, all his other rings are there, but this one is identical to one of the other ones he has. As Whis then informs him that Zamasu was the one that attacked. Zamasu kind of panics here, thinking he already had this attack, but Vegito grabs his arm, enters blue, which scares Gosu and Zamasu. A mortal with God Key, as Vegito puts out his arm and says Hakai, destroying Zamasu. With this being the first time Beerus has seen Vegito with the power of destruction, he is a bit worried because Vegito has begun the process to become a god of destruction. And next arc is the Tournament of Power. Between the end of the Future Trunks arc and the Tournament of Power, Vegito takes Trunks into the Time Chamber and to help him unlock God Key, as well as 2 new forms, Super Saiyan Rage and Super Saiyan God, as well as Bra being born from the daughter of Vegito and Bulma, which Chi-Chi isn't happy about the fact that, it is technically Goku is the father, but is still happy for the two. This also means that Gohan and Goten have a little sister. When it comes to the Zeno Expo, the team for the 7th is Trunks, Gohan, Vegito. Trunks versus Basil is a one-sided match with Trunks just destroying Basil in Super Saiyan Rage. Gohan versus Lavender is similar, but Gohan gets the win this time. Vegito versus Bergamo is a lot like Goku vs Bergamo, but when it comes to Super Saiyan God Kaioken, he goes times 30 and knocks Bergamo out with a godly Big Bang attack. Toppo versus Vegito is a very weird match, due to the fact that Vegito only goes Super Saiyan and doesn't actually go Super Saiyan God before the match is actually called off. When it comes to the 7th Universe team to assemble, we have Gohan as team leader, Vegito, Future Trunks, Piccolo, Krillin, Master Roshi, Tien, 17, 18 and Frieza. Now, most of the Tournament Power goes pretty much the same, by merely substituting Vegito for Trunks. When the Tournament of Power starts, Vegito, 17, 18 and Frieza bolt, with 17 getting the first elimination on Universe 10, followed up by Frieza taking the second, and 18 knocking out 2 more from Universe 2. Following that, Trunks takes out 2 members, 1 from Universe 3 and 1 from Universe 4. The next to be taken out is Krillin, because it's Krillin. When it comes to the Trio of Danger, or the Trio of Damage, attacks Gohan and Gohan powers to Super Saiyan 2 and just knocks the 3 of them out of the arena without any hassle. For when it comes up to Frost teaming up with Frieza, it goes roughly the same, Frost knocking out Tien, because, Tien gets no love. When Result attacks Piccolo, he just doesn't stand a chance. Piccolo, since he's unlocked God Key, he's way stronger than he ever was in canon, and just knocks him out. Frost begins to knock out the rest of Universe 9, with Frieza then taking Frost out, telling him to trust no one. As for the last member of Universe 9 out of the tournament, Universe 9 is erased. When Vegito sees hit on the floor, he rushes Jiren, attacking him. Jiren blocks, thinking nothing of it, until Vegito goes blue, catching Jiren off guard and kicks him across the face, sending him back roughly 15 feet. But Power gets nervous, and as the fight kicks off earlier than it does in canon, with Jiren starting to power up to catch up to Vegito, and with every time Vegito gets pushed back, he just goes into Kaioken times 10 and starts to get the upper hand. As Jiren keeps powering up, he goes to times 20 and eventually to times 30, putting it a pretty even match, with them both putting out roughly 100% of their power. Whilst this is happening, Piccolo and 17 are taking out people from the 6th and 10th universe. 18 still gets taken out from nowhere by a member of Universe 2 and 10, with Piccolo still taking out the Invisible Fighter. When Piccolo is attacked by the Small Fight, he blocks, and this time he's not actually knocked out the ring since he's way stronger, with 17 taking him out. Frieza versus Kefli is pretty much the same fight. Kale's Rampage is pretty much the same when she knocks out the 4th, the 3rd, the 2nd, and finally the 10th universe, before her power becomes too uncontrollable. As she starts to attack the members of the 6th universe, Gohan saves Kaba. Khalifa and Kale don't actually fuse in this timeline. As for when Vegito spots them pulling out the Bataras, he fires and destroys them with a Ki Blast. Shaking his finger, he goes back to fight Jiren. Kale, Khalifa and Kaba are taken out by the members of the Universe 11, leaving only Hit remain. After the 11th universe knocks out the 3, Gohan and Trunks then knocks out those members of Universe 10 as they're celebrating knocking out the monster Kale, with surprising them, and they are knocked, leaving only Toppo, Dispo and Jiren from the 11th universe, As for the seventh have Vegito, Trunks, Gohan, Piccolo, 17, Frieza, and Master Roshi, and the 6th universe only have Hit. Master Roshi gets taken out by Dispo, but Dispo is then taken out by Hit when he sees an opportunity. The fight with those two jumping into Toppo versus Gohan and Trunks, as Toppo enters his God of Destruction mode and is then taken out by Gohan and Trunks by grabbing him and throwing themselves off the arena, both of them shouting, "Dad, take down Jiren." Vegito then smiles and says, "Okay," since he starts to power up even more, his hair turning from this bluish red colour to this God of Destruction purple. The fight then goes from even to Vegito having the upper hand, as he starts destroying the ring around Jiren. Jiren getting pushed back all the way, and Jiren is currently at 100% but not in his awakened mode, and he can't keep up with the power. Even he jumps back trying to get some distance from Vegito, as Vegito yells Hakai, destroying the last part of the stage at the end that they are fighting on. Just before Jiren lands, the stage vanishes and Jiren falls. A moment later, Hit is taken out by 17 and Frieza, making the Universe 7 the winners. When the Super Dragon Balls are used, Vegito wishes back the other universes. Also, I'm going to say there is no Broly arc here. As for when the tournament finishes, Vegito Hakai's Frieza since the Vegito side doesn't want to deal with him anymore, and with him being a returning threat, it could be bad for them. And this here is the end of What If Vegito Stayed Fused. I hope you've enjoyed this part. Leave a comment down below. And if you've actually watched up until the end, I would implore you to like and subscribe. This project has taken me roughly 20 hours of work. I think including rendering should take me 22 in total. But I've enjoyed this project and I want to do more like this. But until the next time, where's the music?
Where's the music? My laptop died.
Press play, walk away, I'm your laptop DJ.